Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm pleased to be joined today by Jared Lord from Brainstorm. We're excited about this partnership with Brainstorm because we have heard you asking questions like, which tool should I be using and when? How do we collaborate better as a team? How do we improve the way we work remotely? How do we mitigate risk? We believe Brainstorm has the answers to these questions and more, which is why we've asked them to join us today. Knowing your tools is a component to succeeding in the marketplace, and it affects your ability to compete. How do you guys make sure that your company knows about the benefits of Microsoft 365? And how do you ensure you leverage the tools and stay up to date? Do you actively seek opportunities to learn how to use your software? Does your software strengthen or hinder your organization? Today, Jared is going to show you a way to strengthen your organization by helping your team use the tools you've provided for them more effectively. Now, this is much more than training because Brainstorm focuses on the behavior of your users. When you can change the way your users work, your organization will be more secure and more productive. For example, Brainstorm helped users learn Microsoft Teams chat better, and they reported eliminating 4,000 plus emails per person per year, which delivers a huge productivity gain. And 90% of them believe Microsoft Teams simplified their group work. Brainstorm can create this kind of change by introducing your organization to QuickHelp. Jared, I'll let you take it from here.
Thanks for that introduction. I'm excited to be here with you guys today. I want to jump right into things. So let's get started with a few tips and tricks. The first situation I want to show you is I want to set up a meeting with someone that's external to my organization. So we can't just share calendars like we normally do. Well, here you'll see that I have Outlook open and I'm ready to compose an email. How many of you guys have ever had to compose an email like this? Okay, you'll start out with some pleasantries and say, let's meet up. I've got some time on, let's say, Monday. I can meet from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, or, maybe it's already starting to become a hassle between 8 and 9, and I also have some time between 2 and 4. Now remember, I'm actually bouncing back and forth from my calendar to do this, right? Today I'm just kind of going off of it in this demo environment to where I'm not going to jump back and forth from my calendar. But you can see here that I'm just going to go in and put some times available, and then we can send this out to the recipient or my customer. So anyways, it's painful enough just to try to compose this while I'm talking to you about it, but that's a 3 to 5 minute email to compose. So I want to show you a better way to do this. And if you come up here into Insert, and then you'll notice here this icon is Insert Calendar. Now it's going to ask me what dates, and just so you know, I'm in a demo environment, so the dates are off. Don't let that bother you. But I'm going to say, look, Thursday to Friday, what do I want to show? I only want to show that I'm busy or available. So I don't want to give them too much detail there, and I only want to do this during working hours, and then I click OK. And that took me, 5-10 seconds to explain to you, but you'll notice that Outlook has now submitted or put my calendar into the email so that the recipient can now look for free times and if it works with their calendar. Now, something to note is the attachment. If I click on that attachment as the recipient, I can now compare it to my Outlook calendar. It'll actually launch it in Outlook and let me overlay the calendars so that I can see my openings and their openings all at one time and then respond with the time that works for both of us. So this is a big time saver, especially if you have to set up meetings with external people a lot. Now, let me jump over to the next tip, which is inserting text that I've saved for this exact moment. Have you guys ever found yourself digging through your sent items for some brilliant line you wrote last week, right? You nailed it on the head. You want to keep it for use again and again and again. Or maybe some of you are even storing Word documents where you've got your templated emails that you like to use on a regular basis. I've even seen people put wording in their signature lines, and they have a bunch of different signatures. So how do we do that in Outlook? Well, you'll notice again, I'm in Insert, and we'll come over here to Quick Parts. Quick Parts allows you to store those templates. So I just explained that calendar item to you, but I actually have a quick sentence that I dropped in to my email to explain about the attachment and my calendar below. And you saw that it happened really quickly. So anytime that you need to store templates or you want to jump and drop in legal language, maybe it's a common support question that you want to put in there, whatever it is, I can highlight it, come up here to text, Quick Parts, and here at the bottom, save selection to the library. And then I'll just simply name it, and it will go into my day-to-day library that I can use over and over really quickly. Guys, I wanted to show you those tips and tricks today to have a little bit of fun, hopefully help you be a little more productive during your work week. But really, I wanted to kind of show that we don't know what we don't know. How do you guys make sure that your company knows about the benefits of Microsoft 365? And how do you ensure you leverage those tools and stay up to date with them? Do you wait to learn about it from a random guy on a webinar? Or do you actively seek opportunities to learn how to use your software? Knowing your tools is a component to succeeding in the marketplace, and it affects your ability to compete. Does your software strengthen or hinder your organization? Today, I'm going to show you a way to strengthen your organization by helping your team use the tools you've provided them and help them be more effective. Now, this is much more than just training, because when you change the way your users work, your organization will be more secure and more productive. For example, we helped an organization learn Microsoft Teams, and they eliminated 4,000 emails per year, and 90% of them believed Microsoft Teams simplified their group work. We create this kind of change by introducing your organization to QuickHelp. Let me pull that up for you now. So here's QuickHelp, and you'll notice that I've logged in as Doug. Now, this is my personal platform, and QuickHelp is going to make sure that the content that they're seeing is relevant to them. So a good example is if your organization is working on getting everyone moved over to Microsoft Teams. As an organization, you have the ability to push out that learning to all of your users. Now, you'll notice that there are some really cool topics here. We've got pick the right tool, meet Microsoft Teams, recognize phishing. This helps with your security. And welcome to the team. This is an onboarding project. So as you get new hires, you can make sure that they're up to speed with what you want them to know as you onboard them into the organization. I want to take a second and drive into what we call skill paths. So you'll see Meet Microsoft Teams. I'll open this up, and now you're going to notice that we have a 12-minute course broken down into small little segments. I'm curious, have any of you ever heard of the Lunch and Learn? It was a brilliant idea, except for the fact that you only get about 15% attendance, and it doesn't really create change. But the idea was right, because they identified a couple things in coming up with this Lunch and Learn. The first one is your users don't have time. They've got a job to do, and they want to get to work. So when do they have time? Lunch breaks, right? We all get those. Probably not. But the idea is there will be free time during lunch. And then we have to create a desire or a wanting to learn. And so what better way to do that than cater some food? That's where the Lunch and Learn came from. And so while we're not doing that here, we're using those principles. The users need to have an awareness and a desire to come in and do the learning, and we can't take a lot of time. So as I've pointed out here, this is a 12-minute course, but it's designed to specifically change their behavior in one way or another. And this way, we're just starting to introduce teams. So I will open or start this course. So here you see a couple individuals speaking about teams. They're not going to go into the actual app yet because like my 5 children, when I ask them to do something, what's the first thing they say? Why, Dad? Right? It's no different with us and our employees. What's in it for me is the question everyone's asking, and that's exactly what we're going to discuss. Why would you want to use Teams? And that creates that awareness and that desire to go in and learn more. Another thing that I want to point out, over here to the right-hand side, you'll notice that we have resources where they can open these up. Sometimes they're use cases. Sometimes they're cards that can be printed out for reference later. Also, if you are learning about Word or Excel, we'll throw documents in there so that they can open them and work on that fake data so they're not in their production data at that time. Now, moving on, I'm going to go to the next section, which is just a really quick poll. I'll go into this a little bit later, but QuickHelp's going to gather a lot of important data. So your users will be asked questions, and we can come in here. Here's one. What applications are you currently using to communicate? And so I can simply come in here and say that I'm using Google. I've got a Google chat, we've got some Slack, and then I'll continue. That's the end of that quick poll. We've got some important information gathered. We're engaging the user. And then as we progress forward, now we're actually jumping into how to use Teams. You'll notice we've got the Teams interface here, and they are going to start showing you how to use little pieces. Pay attention to the right-hand side again, because this button will actually launch Teams so that I can actually do and participate in the challenges the instructors are going to give. So I hope you can see now that as we start learning, we're learning why. We're also engaging with giving them other documents and assets. We're also giving them a really quick way to jump in and participate as the trainer goes on and learns. So it's much more than just watching videos online. We're really engaging your users. We're asking them questions, and we're gathering data as we do that. Now, as part of this course, we're inviting your users to attend a live event. So while I'm in a demo environment, the dates are going to be off and even the time zone. Just know that when your users come on, the dates will be relevant and the time zone will be the one that they're in. And so here you'll notice we've got a lot of different offerings. I'll select the one that I'd like to attend, and then I simply register here. Now these are live events. There's a live trainer, and they're going to go over whatever the topic is. In this case, it's Microsoft Teams. During that time, they're live moderators, so your users can ask specific questions. It's a very secure environment. They're not going to know that there's hundreds of other people on the same event, but they'll be able to correspond and ask questions just like they were the only ones there. So it's a really good experience. And you'll also want to know that QuickHelp is actually sending reminders. So we'll take care of getting them there, and we'll even send them a reminder when it's over that they can go back and watch the recording, or maybe they missed it, and so they can go in and watch it from there as well. Now I want to go back to the main page, and a similar experience is going to happen with all of these different titles. So if you want your individuals to learn more about security, this would be here for them, and they'll go in and they'll learn that. One of the things that I think is really important to show you as well is up here in the top, you can actually type in, maybe I want to go out of the office. So I'll just click out of the office here, and all of a sudden you're going to notice I can prepare to go out of the office with a skill path, or I may just want to see how to show us out of the office with a quick little video. And so as your users come up with questions, they don't need to reach out to a help desk or ask their colleague. They can simply come in here to QuickHelp and do a quick search. So now I want to show you something that's going on in the back end. It's called the engagement engine. And this is going to do all the heavy lifting for you. You don't have to worry about talking to your users about keeping up on their training. Sure, you'll want to send that executive sponsorship email out. You'll even want to maybe mention it in the company meeting or two. But QuickHelp's going to do a majority of that heavy lifting. And with the engagement engine, you'll notice we have communications here. There are campaigns built so that when you want to start using Teams in a special way, you'll be able to set that up so that those communications go out on a weekly and regular basis to get those going. And you'll notice I've got some examples here, which tool to use when, what's the best way to collaborate, how do I access my files on the go. They're all catchy, they look sharp, and we'll send those out regularly for you. It's something that's real simple for you to use. QuickHelp is also going to offer you some data that's very important to us and to you. What you're looking at here is the Office 365 value calculator. Now, Microsoft commissioned Forrester to go out and find out what is the value of all of these tools that we offer if people are utilizing them. Now, what you're looking at here is a company almost 500 seats, and you'll notice they've been using QuickHelp for a little while now, and their usage is up. But what this is showing is Forrester found that for this 500 users, the potential value in the Microsoft tools is about $1 million. And right now, this organization is pulling out $770,000 worth of value. That's really good. Our goal for this organization is that 80% mark right there. And so at the beginning, you'll probably be further down here. But as your users engage in QuickHelp and we help them learn, this will slowly grow up and you'll get those gains in productivity that you want to see. So this data is really important to us. It's not really about them taking the courses as much as it is them changing the way they work. And this really helps us calculate that. Now, we also have some other data to track. You'll notice here, and it's really small. I've had to take a screenshot from another organization. But you'll notice here that we're actually showing activity. So what type of behavior do we want? Not just, okay, we've got more usage. So let me give you an example. Maybe you've had a couple of apps creep into your organization where they're meeting online with different something besides Teams, and you want to focus on having everyone use Teams for their meetings. Well, we can come down here and you can look at the meetings that they're hosting. I'll tell you one thing that's a huge collaboration killer is that when I have to chat with some person on this app and chat with another person on this app and email another person, so what tool do I use for who, right? And that gets very complicated. And so maybe we want to have a campaign that focuses on everyone chatting in Microsoft Teams. And you'll notice we can track that chats are happening more. So again, it's not necessarily, hey, look at all the people we're training. It's about, hey, look, people are changing the way they're working. And so we need this data. And you'll be able to use this to evaluate how your organization is progressing and how you're leveraging your Microsoft tools. Today, as I demoed QuickHelp to you, the focus has been Microsoft Teams. But it's important for you to know that we can educate you on anything Microsoft. There's no question that QuickHelp will strengthen your organization by helping you know and utilize your tools better. That's all we've got for today, so I'm going to turn the time back over to you.
Thank you, Jared. As you guys can see, there's a big need for software adoption and training. Unfortunately, we don't have time for a Q&A today, but we'd love to talk to you more about this. Look for a follow-up email soon, or you're welcome to reach out to us with any questions or requests. Thanks for attending and enjoy the rest of your day.